Hello, what's going on, guys? Hockey Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of The Lego Movie. So, The Lego Movie is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller and stars Chris Pratt, Will Ferrell, Elizabeth Banks, Will Arnett, Nick Offerman, Alison Brie, Chris Day, Liam Neeson, and Morgan Freeman. So the story is this, like, Emmett is kind of this ordinary construction worker until one day he ends up finding Lucy, who's on the run to try to detect this resistance piece thing, and he ended up laying down and ended up getting the piece of resistance on him, which means it's up to him to stop Lord Business from using the Kraggle on the entirety of this Lego world. So I do feel like the story is done very well, and you can follow throughout, and all three acts are well put together, and it's very well paced, and it's very well executed as well. The execution is top notch in this with the story, and it's just a perfect story for this movie. It also sends a great message on what kind of makes you special, and that it doesn't really matter how ordinary you are. There's something about you that makes you special. It's kind of the message of this, and it's a really good message to send your kid, and it's a perfect message to send into anyone. The voice acting from Chris Pratt, Will Ferrell, Will Arnett, and especially Liam Neeson and Morgan Freeman are all great, and they all match their characters, what they're doing, and they all knew what they were doing, and they did a great job with their voice acting, and it was just perfect. So Emmett definitely has some great character development. Like, he does start as this construction worker, and then it's up to him to stop the world, and he save the world, and he ends up saving one of the crews, and just his development throughout the film as a team with them is done very well, and he's just, his character in general, and just with the message that sent, he does kind of realize that he's pretty special, and about him, and it's a great character development for him. And Lucy, or Wildstyle, is a good love interest for him, as over time she does kind of see how Emmett and how he trusts Emmett, and it's some great development for her, and her character is just done very well for it. And Batman is a good comic relief. He's pretty funny, and his character in general is done pretty well, and he's pretty funny. How he is, and as a comic relief, he works. And Metal Beavers as well, comic relief. He's done pretty well, and isn't bad at all. I mean, he's done perfectly. And he is a comic relief, and he does also have the tragic backstory thing that is done very well in this, and it's a good way to develop his character. And Bad Cop is a secondary villain for most of the film, but he does have a redemption arc that is done very well, which has the character done very well. As well as when he's the secondary villain, it's done great, and his character arc with, like, the redemption arc thing is done perfectly, and it's rather convincing that he can do it. And Vitruvius is a great mentor character, like the way he kind of helps out Emmett to be a master builder, and to help him, to tell him why he's special, is great character development. Emmett is most of the reason, and he's a good mentor character for him. Yeah, at the moment and Lord Business is a great villain as well. He's very intimidating, like, he's done very well. Like you can see exactly why he's a villain. He's kind of, I mean, his motivation can be kind of generic. He does kind of want to just take over the world. But his character development and his redemption arc is what makes him a good villain. And it's his character development. And he kind of just wants to control the entire world. It's a bit different. And his a great weapon, and he does a lot of intimidating things, like he does make Futurious go blind, and captures a lot of master builders, which I think is pretty good, makes him a pretty good villain, and it's what makes him pretty intimidating. And the twist where it shows that everything that's happening in this film is all because of a kid who's playing Legos. He's controlling everything that's going on, which is a great twist, and there's no way you really could have seen that coming. It was out of the water, and it actually makes sense for the story. Like, it fits in the story. It's not just a twist that's absolutely random and it makes no sense. And it actually makes sense for the story. It kind of shows why an ordinary construction worker is kind of going through this development. And the ending is just fantastic, and it has the perfect closure for this film. And it's done very well. And the soundtrack is fantastic, like Everything is Awesome song. That's a great song for this film. It's really catchy. And the soundtrack in general is just really catchy, especially Everything is Awesome, like I said. And it's just perfect for this film. So the animation is just fantastic. It's very creative in how they make these guys look like Legos and move like Legos. It's pretty great and clever animation to me, as well as the background animation looks just as you expect the Lego to look like. And I'm glad that they did that and made it look like Legos, because it makes it a creative way of an original way of animating things. It looks really great, as well as the action scenes are very well choreographed and are animated very well with all the Legos and things like that. And with that said, I do have a few negatives, unfortunately. Like, it's kind of my only flaw with the film. I do feel like they do have a bit too many comic reliefs. Like, I'm fine with Batman and Metalbeard, but I do feel like they do kind of overdo it on comic relief characters like Benny and Princess Unikitty. Like, I feel like they probably should have just made them have like be side characters and have less of a role. That's what I think they should have done with them, because just made them have too many comic reliefs. Like, I do feel like 4 is a bit too many comic reliefs to me. Yeah, they shouldn't really have done that. So overall, the Lego Movie is a great film. And one of Warner Animation's best. And I'm gonna give the Lego Movie a 9 out of 10. So that was my review of the Lego Movie. What are your thoughts on the Lego Movie? Tell me in the comments below, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.